Hey, it's Andy, and it's Thursday, July 8th, and these are your 3 reads for today. This whole week has been really kind of a deep dive into environmental issues, energy, environmental, ESG kind of stuff. Today's no different, but before I get to that, remember you can get all my research at andrewbush.com and follow me on Twitter at ABUSCH. All right, today I've got 3 interesting articles for you. The first one actually is a combo, so there's 2 things here. One is the actual research, and the other one is an article about the research. Now, on this one, this is a study that was done and released in Nature, so it's kind of a deeper dive. That's the deeper dive one. You have to pay for it, but you can go to NASA's website and actually get a lot of the information from this. And this is this is a study that was done that says by the mid-2030s that every U.S. coast will experience rapidly increasing high tide floods when a lunar cycle will amplify rising sea levels caused by climate change. So what that means is any low-lying areas that are subject to these kind of intermediate floods or intermittent floods due to the moon, believe it or not, and the tides, they're going to get a lot worse. And that's kind of the whole point of this thing. NOAA reported a total of about 600 of these floods in 2019. We didn't get they don't have the totals for 2020, but basically they're taking what's been going on for the last 10 years and projecting out. Will that continue to happen? It's hard to say right now, but we know that the temperatures are rising. We know that the big ice sheets in the Arctic and Antarctic are melting and the seas are rising, and this is what is driving this research. So it's something interesting, and anybody who's got commercial real estate should be really interested in this type of research, right? Because it's a problem for you if you own in, a place like Miami. And given the collapse of the condo there, I think this should be top of mind for people. So it's a good read. Check it out. It won't take you that long. And in that vein, I also want to show that I'm balanced in my views, right? Or in the research that I do. So one of the research pieces that I saw, or actually it's an opinion piece, not a research piece, but it's an opinion piece in the Federalist. And it refutes the assertion that Seattle and that big heat dome that's going on over there has anything to do with climate change. Let me read to you what the argument is, saying that it's not climate change. This is what he says. Yet what happened in the Pacific Northwest the week before Independence Day was caused by the weather, not the climate. Simply put, a high-pressure dome built up over the British Columbia, and this caused the downslope of winds from the north that created the heat dome. I think that's kind of hard to refute, but I think the author misses the point. It's like, well, why is there a heat dome in the first place? Yes, that's what created the weather and the heat, but what caused the dome to be created first? And second of all, why is it just sitting there? And that's the bigger question. So as you study, climate, and you see that heat is getting to the Arctic, what does that do? It creates problems for the jet stream. And the jet stream does not blow the same way it used to. It blows a lot less. And that's why you don't have storms that move through quickly. They sit there for long periods of time. That's why you get rain bombs in Kansas and other places. So it's an interesting argument, but it's kind of hard to buy it without thinking what caused the heat dome in the first place, right? So that's kind of interesting. It's not just weather. And then lastly, I want to just mention, since I'm kind of from the area in Chicago, even though now I live in North Carolina, New York Times has a great article talking about Chicago and its battle with water over its history. Now, what's interesting in that is that it is a deep dive over that what Chicago has done really over the years to deal with the water, to deal with the flooding that was caused by Lake Michigan, and then also to deal with sewage in the city. Because it's so flat, it had to build sewers that dumped into the Chicago River. And it still continues to this day. Now, what's fascinating isn't so much that they're saying Lake Michigan is really high. It was in 2020. It was a record high. What's more interesting is the fact that it was at a record low in 2013. Now, that would generate some people saying, well, look, it's not climate change. These are just normal patterns. That may be true, but what's more interesting to me about this is the volatility in those weather patterns and what problems that's going to cause for the city overall. When you have a severe drought, they were predicting that the lake would drop below the Chicago River so much that the Chicago River would reverse course and head back into into Lake Michigan. And if the lake goes so high, it basically can wipe out a lot of, again, commercial real estate along the lake shore. So anybody who's got commercial real estate holdings, you should check this article out. It's pretty interesting, to say the least. So it kind of ties into NOAA's research as well. All right, that's it for me, Andy Bush. It's been Thursday, July 8th. Again, I hope everybody had a great 4th of July. Follow me on Twitter at ABUSCH, and you can get my research at andrewbush.com. I will be producing a bit of research tomorrow morning, since we're on a delayed date because of the July 5th holiday. And obviously, it's going to be ESG related. So check that out. Thanks so much.